Now the front entrance to Flinders Medical Centre. Buses coming from the southern subsection of Flinders Drive, which runs in front of the hospital here, would take this path to get into the bus station. They do a U-turn and pull into the bus stop, and having picked up their passengers, they then continue on their path by returning again to the down track on Flinders Drive. So we have a real-time display here. The G10 bus, which we just arrived on, has just departed, and you can see other buses where they're going to go to. And we've also got a train service here. This is information supplied by the Adelaide Metro for Flinders Medical Centre. This is rather unique in that it has both buses and electric trains coming to the hospital. We'll see here that there's a bus stop A and B, which are on the same site, just adjacent to the front door of the hospital. In summary, you would arrive at one of these two and depart on the other one, depending upon which direction you're coming from to the hospital and returning to. We can see that the following buses are coming to the one bus stop. So this bus stop would be highly desirable if all door entry was available, but currently all door entry is only available on those buses fitted with validation machines at all the doors, and currently that has only been implemented on the buses known as the O-Bahn buses, but only when the O-Bahn buses are actually on the O-Bahn track or in the CBD. Elsewhere, the O-Bahn buses do not allow passengers to get on the second or third door of the bus. They're only allowed to get off the bus. I'm at the Marion Centre interchange in Oaklands Park in the southern region of Greater Adelaide. This is a bus interchange for many of the bus routes here, some of which are going to go to the Flinders Medical Centre, FMC, which is just behind the camera. G10 is just arriving at the coming from Blair Athol via Elizabeth Road, but not actually listing that it's going to go to FMC. To the Flinders Link Railway. This is now Flinders. We're now crossing over the Darlington Road upgrade, coming over the old north-south road. This is the service road for ambulances, the emergency centre. And we'll see there are no bus stops on the other side of Flinders Drive. All the buses come into the Zone A and Zone B. The first bus from Flinders Medical Centre leaves at 6:40 in the morning, and we go through to the end of the day, and we can see there's a bus basically every half hour until 11:36 in the evening. So we can see in the morning, this is the weekend and public holiday service from Flinders Medical Centre to Blair Athol. The first bus leaves at 8:05 and continues through the day half hourly until the start of the evening with an hourly service, with the last bus leaving at 11:06. We've seen that the Flinders Medical Centre is served by a single bus station with 2 bus zones where people can quickly get on and off buses within 5 metres of the front door by means of this go-around for buses on Flinders Drive. We've also seen that the buses here serve the hospital, the medical centre, the teaching facilities, the staff, the nurses, the workers, 7 days a week from early in the morning until almost midnight every night of the week, including weekends and holidays. Now let's compare this with the Lyell McEwen Hospital, which is in Elizabeth Vale. This is the Lyell McEwen Hospital, which is of a similar size and complexity, the similar number of operating theatres and the similar complexity of paramedical and medical facilities, servicing 400,000 people in the northern zone of Greater Adelaide. John Rice Avenue we're looking towards Lyell McEwen Hospital. So we can see that there's no information here telling people what buses actually stop at bus stop 55. I've just arrived at bus stop 55 on John Rice Avenue, and I want to get to the main entrance of Lyell McEwen Hospital, which is just over the other side of the road. To get to the hospital, I have to walk back to the traffic light. This area around Lyell McEwen Hospital has now been designated as a major health precinct. We can see here some private enterprise that's building a suite of medical rooms for the private sector. But the Lyell McEwen Hospital is a major teaching hospital, public hospital, with a very high number of day surgeries. To have a day surgery, that means the person will often have to come to the hospital once or twice before the actual operation, and then after the operation return to hospital for further consultations. In my own case, I actually fell over and broken the bone in my hand on a Friday, and I was scheduled to have a day surgery on Monday. I was asked to come in early at about 7:30 to the hospital so that I could then be put in a list, and on the Monday at 4 o'clock I was told to go home because the list was all used up by other patients. So I returned on Tuesday morning, and I was successfully operated upon at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was able to then catch the bus home from the hospital. After that, I then had to return to the hospital about 3 more times to talk to the surgeon about removing the pins that were placed in my bones of my hand. And then on another occasion I actually went to have the pins taken out. And then after that I was then scheduled to have hand physiotherapy, which involved going to the hospital and waiting my turn to see the hand physiotherapist and then returning again. This is a Haydown Road. This bus is the bus stop you'd alight if you were coming from Elizabeth Railway Station using the 224, the 560 or 500 bus or the J1 bus. As you can see, the J1 bus isn't mentioned here. The rain's just starting. Here comes the J1 bus now. At this point, all entry is not available. Obviously not enough people wanting to use it. So that's an entrance for SA pathology, but the main entrance over there is closed off. Here's the COVID testing. Coming up is the bus stop that you would catch if you want to go to Elizabeth Railway Station, and it's the one which you would alight if you're coming from Salisbury Interchange, Burton and Glenelg via the Tea Tree Plaza and Golden Grove Interchange on the J1, or from the Tea Tree Plaza Interchange using the 560 bus. Again, there's no indication here which buses stop here and which directions they go to. There around the hospital has been turned into a whole series of consulting rooms for paramedical and private practices. As we can see, the number of the houses have been knocked down and turned into car parks alongside the Adelaide Paediatrics is now a car park. This is Oldham Road. Coming up to the main entrance, which is also the emergency entrance for ambulances as well as people off the street. See, the space here could be turned into a bus station, similar to the one at Lyell McEwen. At this point there is protection from the rain. This is the entrance to the Lyell McEwen Hospital. I'm here at Elizabeth Railway Station. This is the terminus for the 560 bus and the J1 bus. And you see the 560 bus is just at Zone C here at Elizabeth Railway Station. The only problem is with the 560 J1 bus, in the evenings you can't get to Lyell McEwen Hospital from here because the buses don't run on the 560 bus after 6 o'clock. And whilst the J1 bus comes here from the airport and Glenelg in the evening, it doesn't do return trips after around about 6 o'clock in the evening. So we're here at Elizabeth Railway Station, and the J1 bus makes no mention of the fact that it's going to Lyell McEwen Hospital. 560 makes no mention of the fact it's going to Lyell McEwen Hospital. And bus 224 makes no mention of the fact that it's going to Lyell McEwen Hospital. The 560 bus going via Lyell McEwen does mention it. The 24M makes no mention of the fact that it's going to go to Lyell McEwen Hospital. I'm here at Tea Tree Plaza, having got here by another bus, the 557 bus, and I want to get to Lyell McEwen Hospital. So I've got a choice of two routes. Behind me is a bus stop in Zone H, which is the 560 bus, which takes 53 minutes to get to Lyell McEwen Hospital, and behind the camera is a zone where I can catch the J1 bus, which is a limited stop bus, which takes 23 minutes. The bus going to the RAH, the 541, is displayed with the RAH, whereas the 560 is shown with words Lyell McEwen Hospital, although perhaps the LMH would be a better way of displaying it on the screen quickly for people to read. The Oban sign here at Tea Tree Plaza interchange is showing the C1 to Elizabeth. The bus C1 stopped running to Elizabeth 2 years ago and was replaced by the J1 bus. So we've got the wrong information being displayed here. It's saying that the J1 is going to go to Lyell McEwen Hospital and Golden Grove. It's already been to those places, so the information here is misleading and confusing. The 560 bus, it doesn't make any mention of the fact that it's actually going to go to Lyell McEwen Hospital. Here's the tag on. Coming up to Smart Road. Just crossing over the Oban. This is Smart Road, and on the right we can see some buses which are in a layover. They have done their morning at rush hour rush. Buses lay over until later in the day. This is the Modbury Hospital bus stop coming up. So this bus has got nobody wanting to catch the bus, so the bus didn't stop there. This is the Torrens house, which used to be the nurses' residence when nurses used to do their training in hospitals. It's now got accommodation for patients and families at the Lyell McEwen Hospital. This is the 560 bus timetable, Monday to Friday, getting from Tea Tree Plaza interchange to Haydown Road 54B, which is the Lyell McEwen Hospital. We see that the first bus is leaving Tea Tree Plaza at 6:18, and it's about half an hour between buses. And the last bus leaving Tea Tree Plaza on Monday to Friday leaves at 6:17, arriving at Haydown at 7:08. On Saturdays, the first bus leaves Tea Tree Plaza at 9:10, arriving at 10 o'clock, with the last bus on Saturdays being leaving Tea Tree Plaza 6:10 and arriving at 7. Whilst on Sundays and public holidays, the first bus leaves Tea Tree Plaza 11:10, arriving at midday, and the last one leaves Tea Tree Plaza at 6:10, returning at 7. Now let's look at what happens if we want to return from Lyell McEwen back to Tea Tree Plaza using the 560 bus. The first return bus on weekdays is going at 6:22, arriving back at 7:15 with the same time span of about half an hour. But here's the problem. The last bus for the 560 leaves Lyell McEwen at 5:35, getting into Tea Tree Plaza 6:29. No problem is that many of the paramedical services offered at Lyell McEwen go through till 6 o'clock, and visiting hours go through till 8 o'clock. So people who are patients will not be able to use the 560 return back to Tea Tree Plaza, and certainly workers and staff for the hospital, many thousands of people and trainee students and so on, nursing and others, will not be able to return to Tea Tree Plaza and the city of Tea Tree Gully using the 560 bus Monday to Friday. Similarly, on a Saturday, the return starts at 8 o'clock in the morning with the last one at 5:10, and again evening visits to the Lyell McEwen Hospital will not be possible using the 560 return back again, with the closing of visiting hours at 8 o'clock at night. Sunday and public holiday, again it starts at 10 and finishes at 5:10. Scenario is I've arrived by bus from where I live at Highbury and want to get to the Lyell McEwen Hospital for a day surgery in the morning, and this is the J1 bus timetable. There's lots of information here about lots of things, but not this highlight that they're a bit important to me. So this is the Tea Tree Plaza interchange where I will be arriving, and this is Haydown Road 54B, which we know is the Lyell McEwen Hospital, and the first run shows it's going to take 23 minutes to get from Tea Tree Plaza to Haydown via the Golden Grove interchange. We can see the next bus after that is 35 minutes later. Then the time between buses varies and goes up to 44 minutes and stabilises around about 30 minutes between buses, with a couple of short runs close together. That's fine. And the last bus, which goes to Lyell McEwen Hospital from Tea Tree Plaza, will arrive at the Lyell McEwen Hospital at 10:02. We've seen that the 560 bus will not get us back to T3 Plaza interchange after 6 o'clock on a weekday. Let's see if the J1 bus will do something that would be better for us. The J1 bus for many years used to run from Elizabeth to the airport and then was taken away, and then at the last election the current government restored it back again, but with an enhancement of actually going to Haydown Road. This is a limited stop bus, basically using main roads when it's moving through the city of Adelaide. We can see that the first bus returning is at 4:55 in the morning, obviously to get people to the airport, but by 5:57 in the morning. But we're more interested in the afternoon evening times. So we can see here that on the left hand side is the frequency of the buses. If we go now through to the rest of the day, we'll see the frequency is about every 30 minutes all through the day for the J1 bus from Haydown. But the last bus leaving Lyell McEwen Hospital is at 6:47. And the other thing to notice is the frequency here, suddenly it's gone from 35 minutes to 51 minutes between the two buses. So again, we are stuck in that we can't get back to T3 Plaza using the buses which we normally would use to get to Lyell McEwen. So we discovered that we can't use the J1 or the 560 bus to return back to T3 Plaza from Lyell McEwen Hospital in the evening. So let's see what resources are available. We go online and we'll see that if we do it on a Tuesday at 7 p.m, we're given an option which is going to take us 96 minutes, and this involves us walking from the Lyell McEwen Hospital to stop 55 on John Rice Avenue, which will take us, which is 430 metres, which is going to take us 7 minutes. Just going past the 554B stops that we arrived on, we will then travel on the 400 bus to Salisbury Interchange, arriving there and having to then transfer to from zone F to zone H at Salisbury Interchange. We'll then wait for the 502 bus, which is going to go at 7:53 to take us to Paradise Interchange, and this involves us crossing over the track of the O-Bahn to catch the J1 bus, which is going to take us then to T3 Plaza. A trip which will take us 96 minutes and would arrive at 8:40. If we miss that one, there's another bus leaving at 7:22, which will take 72 minutes, and a bus at 7:04, which would take us 103 minutes. Visiting the same set of interchanges but using slightly different routes. So that the return trip between Lyell McEwen Hospital and T3 Plaza in the evening is quite complicated and uses completely different bus stops and interchanges to what we use to get there in the morning. Golden Grove Interchange. Stop C at Golden Grove Village interchange. You can see that the J1 stops here going to Elizabeth, and it mentions that it goes to the Lyell McEwen Hospital. It also mentions it's a limited stops, meaning it's going to be a fast run. This shows how important the J1 bus is to people who use the Golden Grove interchange, people from Greenwith and so on, want to use the bus. If you use the J1 bus as a limited stop bus between the two locations, it's 19 minutes, whereas if you try to use any other bus, say 58 minutes, which involves going down from Golden Grove Village to Bridge Road and waiting out on the side of the street, walking between the two, bus stops on Bridge Road, and then catching another bus, the 560 bus, which is coming from Tea Tree Plaza to get to the Lyell McEwen at 54C. Citizens of Tea Tree Gully who are using the J1 bus from the Golden Grove Village to get to the Lyell McEwen Hospital will know that in the evening they can't return using the same bus, so they would have to negotiate these set of buses. So if you want to leave at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night, it's 87 minutes as an option, and this would involve again walking from the hospital, Oldham Road, past the bus stops which you use to get there, and get to this bus stop on 55 on John Rice. You'd catch the 400 bus to Salisbury Interchange, where you're going to have to walk 40 metres to catch the 4:15 bus, which will then take you to stop 75 on Target Hill Road, and you get off at one bus stop, then walk to another bus stop 74, and catch the J2 bus in its journey to the Golden Grove Village Shopping Centre. It taking 87 minutes. The trip across in the morning was less than 23 minutes. Curry Street, and the M44 doesn't tell us that actually it stops at the Modbury Hospital, and it doesn't tell us that the J1 stops at the LMH, Lyell McEwen Hospital. Information about stopping the hospital would be useful for students at the University of South Australian Nursing School, which is just here on North Terrace, or the doctors at the Adelaide University Medical School in North Terrace who would be RMOs or attending training at the Lyell McEwen Hospital and the Modbury Hospital. Looking now along the western side of the Lyell McEwen Hospital on Mark Road. Some entrepreneurs are looking to, the ACH group is looking to do some kind of development here on the western side of the LMH. Mark Road is the entrance to the very large controlled parking area here at LMH. Main car park on Mark Road. Looking around now to Trembath Road. Thanks for watching this video to this point. good news is my hand is fully recovered. The incident really did happen, but I actually had the treatment at the RA rather than the LMH, and I used the 541 bus, which clearly indicates it's going to the RA, to get to the RA for those treatments. About 10 times I had to go to the hospital for the treatment, so it would have cost me around about $79 if I was using buses at full fare, where compared to about $430 if I was using a private car. As a result of the video I was made about the Modbury Hospital proposed bus station there, I realised that I needed to demonstrate a real bus station here in Adelaide, and the excellent example is this one at Flinders Medical Centre, which has been there right from the beginning of the time the hospital was built. And I thank the Honourable Corey Wingard for replying to my video about the Modbury Hospital. I was also looking at the correspondence and realised that there was a letter from the previous Minister, the Honourable Stephen Knoll, when I was making a suggestion about the bus 541 going to the RA, and the other suggestion was the bus going from Mount Barker, the 864F bus, that it also should show the RA. And in making this video, I did a whole lot of bus trips around the place and actually went to the stop in the city and saw that that bus 864F does display RAH on the top of the bus when it's going to the RA. That bus stations are a major benefit if they are close to where the people want to get on and off, and if the buses actually tell you information about they're going to actually go to those locations. So in summary, the bus route 560 has as many stops as the bus we saw down, but that bus runs 7 days a week until midnight, with a frequency of half hour during most of the day, up to 1 hour in the evening, but at regular times. Whereas the bus here, to return back again from Lyell McEwen Hospital, is impossible to use the 560 bus after around about 6 o'clock, and similarly for the J1 bus, you can't get back again. So people are not going to use the bus if it doesn't let them go and visit their families in visiting hours, or if they are staff members. The Lyell McEwen Hospital probably has about 3,000 or 4,000 people who work there who are not patients. These workers need to be able to get to and from work at a reasonable frequency using public transport. The other thing which I really want to mention is that we've got no way of knowing where people get on and off because we don't have tagging off. And the other thing too is basically Adelaide transport is ridiculously cheap. At 22 cents a kilometre, there's no way in the world that we're covering costs. If we compare that with London, with tag on, tag off, where you've got full fare box recovery, you're going to have a situation where you don't need politicians making political decisions about subsidising bus routes, because the bus routes will subsidise themselves. With full fare box recovery, it'll be automatic that those routes where people are using the buses will be places where the frequency of the buses will meet their needs. We need tag on, tag off, as well as all door entry here in Greater Adelaide. Thank you.